Dear residents and friends of Marsiling UT, a very good evening to you. Selamat petang, tuan-tuan ke puan-puan sekalian. Kalai vanakkam. So good to see all of you here this evening. We have brothers and sisters from the unions. Thank you for being here. Thank you so much. We have our pioneer generation seated in front of us. Give them a big round of applause, our pioneers. Thank you. Let me just start with a few words in Chinese, and then I continue in English after this. 各位马西岭油池的居民，大家好不？感謝大家的支持，我係 good luck， 為大家服務，將我哋嘅選區做了更加好。請大家支持 PAP， 感謝大家。非常高兴看到这么多人出席今晚的群众大会，谢谢你们的支持，谢谢你们。我相信大家都知道，我过去是在西海岸文理区服务的，但是在这一个月来，我接到通知之后，就马上到马西岭油池和居民互动，争取这个机会呢，认识大家。也认识了不少新朋友，所以今晚呢，我特地呢要谢谢大家的热情接待，我非常感动，感谢你们，谢谢大家。我也很兴奋呢，和大家分享了对马西岭油池区的计划和展望。比如说，我们在这个体育场附近的马西岭地铁站将发展成为一个更方便的中心点。中心点呢，会有一个超级市场，会有一个小贩中心，带来给我们的居民更多的方便。我们乌兰的海边也将发展成为一个让全家人能够欣赏海景的滨海公园。除此之外，我们也会确保让新加坡继续成为一个有希望、人人都能够实现理想又互相温习的国家。只要你有愿望，只要你肯努力，你都会有机会在新加坡出人头地。所以今天在这个竞选活动的最后一天，我想告诉大家，过去1个多星期你们听了很多，我也不要多讲了。很多东西多讲也没有用，行动是最重要的。但是有4个字，我请大家记住：相信我们，相信我们始终关心您，相信我们一直在聆听，相信我们不管建国路有多艰难，我们始终都会陪着你，相信我们。几个星期前，我在马西岭油池欢庆建国50周的活动上，和居民一起合唱一首歌《朋友》。今天晚上想跟你们献一首歌，唱给你们听。但是群众大会有规矩，不能唱歌，所以以后我们有机会。我会唱歌给你们听的，你们放心。可是今晚呢，我和大家分享2句我喜欢的歌曲。朋友不曾孤单过，一生朋友你会懂。还有伤，还有痛，还要走，还有我。我只是念没有唱哦，没有破规矩啊。 各位居民，你们现在都是我的朋友，我会真心的为你们服务，我不会辜负你们的期望。后天就是投票日，我相信您为了自己，为了家人，为了下一代的发展，我希望您把神圣的一票投给人民行动党。你我同心，为国为民，让我们共创更美好的家园。谢谢大家。Dear Marsiling UT residents and friends, this is the last night and the final rally of GE 2015. Thank you for making history together with us, because this is a new GRC created for the first time in many, many years, and now we are together, gathered in this final rally of a watershed election. We've had a very busy period of campaigning over the last 9 days, but even beyond that, because we have been working hard for a very long time on the ground. So tonight, I want to thank all of you, our supporters, our volunteers, for working so hard with us, for walking this journey with us, and for believing and standing for a cause which is fair and just, which we believe in passionately. Thank you very much. Now, since I've come to Marsiling UT over a month ago, I've spent as much time as I can on the ground, getting to know the place here, getting to know all of you, all our residents here. I've attended the community events, I've participated in your activities, from art making to Zumba dancing, from singing to dancing. I've done the whole range. I've tried the excellent hawker food here. Block 19 clay pot bak kut teh, check. Block 304 chicken rice and Hokkien mee, already tried. I know there's a lot more good stalls to try. I haven't done so, but I hope to do so very soon. So in my very short time here, just about a month, Marsiling UT has become a home to me. And it feels like home because of all of you, the people of Marsiling UT. And I really want to thank all of you for opening your doors to me and my team, for welcoming us and giving us such warm hospitality. And over the past few weeks, I've had the chance to meet many of you face to face. I've met your children, your parents, even your pets, your cats and dogs. And from the bottom of my heart, I just want to say thank you for welcoming me into your family. Thank you very much. You know, when I go on my house visits, there's one thing that many residents tell me. There's one thing that many residents tell me. Do you know what it is? Now ask Deng Kun to come here. Deng Kun, come. Many residents say, I look like Ong Deng Kun. Do we look alike? Do we look alike? Maybe the same. You know, you look at our glasses, glasses is different now, but take out glasses, still look alike or not? You know, some of you think he's my brother. He's not my brother. I cannot speak Hokkien as good as him, for sure. But I'm proud to call him my brother anytime. And I'm proud also to have my brother Alex and my sister Halima in my team. You know, you've heard their stories and their personal experiences. You've heard about the sacrifices they have to make. All of us have to make. And it's not easy. People don't always see these sacrifices. I mean, Madam Halima shared about her mother in hospital. I've seen her these past 9 days, every night rushing to the hospital just to be with her mother. Alex and Teng Kun have young kids to look after. Just this morning, I went to visit my parents. My dad still recovering from heart bypass surgery. So these are not things we like to talk about. We don't share them very often, but these are our difficulties which we share with all of you. We have our own journey and we have our own difficulties. But as a team, we support one another, we back up one another, and we make sure that as a team we are effective. And we are committed to serving because we are committed to a higher calling. We are committed to serve the people of Marsiling UT and the people of Singapore. We stand as a team to serve you. And just as we support one another within the team, we will support you too when you have difficulties. We've listened to your concerns and needs. We know the difficulties that some of you are going through. During my house visits, I meet many residents. I've heard your stories. I've heard your concerns. I've met a poly graduate concerned about whether he's able to find a job. I've met a professional manager who just lost his job because he was retrenched, because the company was downsized. So we hear your concerns. And I want to assure you that you do not have to go through tough times alone. You do not have to go through these tough times alone. My team and I will always be there for you to lend a helping hand, to walk this journey together with you. That's our promise to all of you. We will always be on your side, working with you, for you. We will always be on your side, protecting and upholding your interests. Some of the things we want to do may take some time. So I ask for your patience. We may not always be able to get immediate results, but I assure you we will always work hard, we will always persevere, and we will always push for your interests. And so I'm reminded, 2 days ago I was at Villa Verde. This is a place in UT. And I saw many mango trees along the roads of Villa Verde. I asked our residents, why are there so many mango trees here? And they tell me they had planted these mango trees 15 years ago when they first moved into the estate. 15 years ago. At first, there were no fruits. But 2 to 3 years later, the fruits started to come out from the mango trees. By the way, please don't go there and pluck the mangoes, huh? Now there are fruits, and the trees provide shade, and they provide food. Good mangoes, you can pluck to eat them, you can cook them. And for mangoes, it's a multiracial fruit because our Chinese, Malay friends all cook it in different ways, use mangoes to cook their own versions of achar, for example. So this mango tree is a very multiracial tree. And the PAP is like a good mango tree. The PAP is like a good mango tree that has yielded good and abundant fruit for many years. In fact, for more than 50 years. So let me ask you, if a tree bears good fruit all these years, and you know that the tree will continue to bear good fruit, will you cut it down? Will you tear it down? Will you weaken the tree? No, clearly the answer is no. The opposition somehow has a different view. They want to weaken the tree. They want to make it more difficult for the tree. Now, if the tree is not growing or the tree is not bearing fruit for a long time, I say cut it down and plant a new tree. But this PAP tree is growing. It is bearing fruit. Even the opposition acknowledges this. So let us continue to cultivate, nurture, and nourish the tree so that it grows better and stronger, so that it bears even more fruits for our children and our grandchildren. And when I talk about trees, I'm also reminded of our founding father, Mr. Lee Kuan Yew. You know, from the very start, he had a goal to make Singapore a garden city. This was many years ago when we even had no idea that Singapore could be a garden city. He planted a tree first in 1963, and every year he planted a tree for 50 years until 2013. And by then he was too frail to do this, but every year for 50 years he had planted a tree. And today we are known all over the world as a city in a garden. We are not only a city in a garden, but we have a botanic gardens, which is a UNESCO World Heritage Site. You know, in the world over, there are only 1,000 UNESCO World Heritage Sites. These are world treasures, 1,000 in the whole world. How big is the whole world? How big is the whole world? The world has 150 million square kilometers. 150 million square kilometers. I can't even imagine what 150 million square kilometers is, but that's the size of the whole world. How big is Singapore? 700 square kilometers. That's like a small little pinprick in a big ocean. And for us, this tiny little red dot to have one of 1,000 UNESCO World Heritage Sites, I think that's something we all should be very proud of. But you know, this did not happen by chance. It did not just miraculously come about. It's not because somebody said, let's have a World Heritage Site and hooray, we have something overnight. It did not happen by chance. It took many decades of hard work, planting trees every year, preserving our heritage and culture and nature to make our dreams of a garden city come true. So the solutions to many of our challenges require effort and they require time. There are no painless, quick fix solutions. It's exactly like planting trees. It takes hard work, patience, and commitment. So my message tonight to all of you is this: let's continue to grow our future together. Singapore, Singaporeans and PAP, let's continue to strengthen our partnership and grow our future together. No, this is not an easy task. It takes hard work, it takes team effort. It's you, it's me, it's all of us pitching in, believing that Singapore can and will always be special. Let's grow our future together in Marsiling UT as well. So not just for Singapore, but in Marsiling UT, let's also grow our future together. You know, so over the past few weeks, we've heard your aspirations and hopes, and we have taken in your feedback into the plans that we have developed for the estate and for the community. I think you have heard some of these plans from Halima, Alex, and Teng Kun, and some of these you will see within the next 5 years. For example, next to the stadium, by the swimming pool, we will have an integrated development coming up. It will have shops, supermarket, and a hawker center. Within the next 5 years, sooner possibly. We will have more greenery, parks, park connectors, and better transport services. Some of our plans are longer term, beyond 5 years. They will take more time, but we are looking at them and we want to do it systematically and implement these plans. For example, we will develop and transform the entire Woodlands North Coast and make it into a beautiful waterfront setting for all of our residents to enjoy. We will redevelop the old Woodlands Town Centre and the Woodland Town Gardens so that that can be an iconic destination on the western part of Woodlands and Marsiling. And this Woodlands Stadium where we are in right now, we will make it into a major sports centre for the entire northern region. I know we have many sports fans, many football fans over there. We will provide you with better facilities and more support for your sports. We will strengthen our sporting and football culture here in Woodlands and Marsiling UT. These are some of our immediate plans as well as our long-term plans. But we can't do all of this alone. We need your support, and we need your support to plant more trees and grow our future together. Then we can work together to make Marsiling UT an even better home for all of us. You know, through the 9 days of the campaign, you have heard many proposals and suggestions from the opposition parties. They sound very attractive. The opposition will sell you the benefits of their proposals, but they don't tell you to read the fine print. Perhaps you might not even see the fine print, because there's a price tag attached. And in the end, our children and grandchildren will be the ones who pay the price. As the old saying goes, if something sounds too good to be true, then it probably is too good to be true. You know, our founding fathers and pioneer generation recognized this. And so they knew that in life, there are no shortcuts. That's why the PAP approach is different. We are honest and we are upfront with you. We do not shy away from difficult issues. And our approach is one of hard work and real action on the ground. That's the PAP way. That's the PAP way that has worked for the last 50 years and that will take Singapore beyond our golden jubilee. You know, I know some people say they want diversity in Parliament. I would like diversity too. But let's not have diversity for diversity's sake. Let's not have opposition for the sake of having an opposition. So in this election, please think very carefully about which candidate you would like to have represent your interest in Parliament. Who would you like to be your representative in Parliament? Which party would you like to have represent your interests in Parliament? This issue has been around for many years, this idea of having diversity in Parliament. And I want to tell you what our founding leader, Mr. Rajaratnam, thought about this. Mr. Rajaratnam was one of our founding fathers. He wrote the words of the pledge. So he is a fervent Democrat. He wrote the pledge which upholds our democratic values to build a democratic society based on justice and equality. But Mr. Rajaratnam himself was skeptical about the Western model of opposition checks and balance. And I'll read you something he said. The argument that opposition by itself promotes efficient government and automatically guarantees justice and welfare for the people is not true. In Western Europe, the birthplace of democracy, oppositional politics has resulted in weak and unstable governments, and in some instances, no governments at all. Mr. Rajaratnam said this more than 30 years ago, a long time ago. I think it's still relevant today, perhaps even more so. Just 2 years ago, you saw what happened in America, where there was political gridlock. The parliament could not agree on the budget, and the whole government had to shut down. The world's most powerful country, America, but the government shut down. Why? Because of political fighting, because of political gridlock. So this is a real concern that we should all bear in mind. Mr. Rajaratnam and our founding leaders called for a different kind of democracy for Singapore, one involving citizen participation at all levels to solve the problems we face together. Some may feel that they want to pursue their causes through political means, and that's fine. But there are many other ways to make an impact in our society. And so tonight, I also want to make a call to all Singaporeans, especially our young Singaporeans. Come and work with us to solve our problems together and shape our nation's future together. There are many things that we can do together. There are many big challenges that we must deal with. Within Singapore, what more can we do to take better care of our poor and elderly citizens? How can we further reduce the income gap? These are issues that the government is grappling with, and we welcome your participation. Beyond our shores, what can Singapore be for the world? How can we be part of the solution to take care of our planet, to solve regional problems like the haze, or to solve global problems like climate change, which will happen perhaps not in my time, but certainly in 30, 40 years. These are big issues that confront all of us. And I acknowledge that the government does not have all the solutions. And also, you may have a different view from me in how to tackle some of these problems. That's okay. Because at the heart of it, we all want the same thing. We all want to achieve the best for Singapore and for all Singaporeans. So I say, let's come together as one team Singapore. Let's develop measures that work and solve our challenges together. Then, from this year's SG50, we can look forward to even better years ahead, SG75, SG100, and certainly when your children or grandchildren celebrate SG100, it will be an even better celebration, bigger celebration than what we have today. My friends, this is the final night of our campaign, and on Friday, all of us go to the polls. If you are still undecided, and maybe you have decided but still can be persuaded, please remember, the PAP has been with you all this while for the last 50 years and more. We have walked this journey with you to build our nation together, to make this little red dot into a shining red dot. My team and I will continue this service. We are committed to continuing this service with you. We will always be on your side, working with you and speaking up for you. And together, we can do much more to grow our future here in Marsiling UT. So when you go to the ballot box on 11th of September, who will you support? Which party will you vote for? Which party will you give a mandate? Please vote for my team and I and give us a chance to serve you. Please vote for the PAP. Please elect a strong democratic government, a government of the people, by the people, and for the people. And with your support, with your mandate, we promise to work with you, and for Singapore. Majulah PAP! Majulah Singapura! Majulah PAP! Majulah Singapura! Majulah PAP! Majulah Singapura! Thank you very much.